this?
My nose is so big.
Yes, I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late.
Welcome back to Hollywood Stars Unfiltered, your ultimate destination for the juiciest Hollywood tea and jaw-dropping scandals. And trust me, today's story isn't just gossip, it's a Hollywood power play so shocking, you'll need to rewind just to believe it. Let me ask you this. What happens when a dream project turns into a career-defining nightmare? Buckle up because Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and a very unexpected cameo by Taylor Swift and Reynolds are about to shake your world. So here's the setup. Justin Baldoni spent 5 years bringing his passion project. It ends with us to life. A dream project, right? Until it turns into a literal Hollywood chess game with betrayals, twists, and a plotline so wild. Even Netflix would pass it off as too unrealistic. But here's the kicker. New evidence has just come to light that flips the entire story on its head. We're talking leaked texts, secret recordings, and receipts that'll make you question everything. So here's where it all starts unraveling. And it's as juicy as it gets. Picture this. It's mid-2022, and Justin Baldoni is on cloud 9. He's just had what feels like the most successful casting meeting of his career.
Flew to New York and had like a 3-hour meeting with Blake. Right afterwards, I just said, "You are Lily. I'd be so honored if you would consider it." I remember when she finally said yes, we had a call with Sony, and everybody was like screaming. And that was the energy around her saying yes. And we were just so grateful.
Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden girl, fashion icon, and all-around superstar, has agreed to headline his dream project, It Ends With Us. I mean, this is the kind of casting win that directors dream about. The deal is signed, the champagne's flowing, and Sony execs are practically planning their Oscar campaign already. Everything seems perfect for about 5 minutes. Here's where it starts to get messy. At first, Blake is the ideal collaborator. She's enthusiastic, bringing fresh ideas to the table. And get this, she even ropes in her bestie Taylor Swift to help cast some of the younger roles. I mean, can you imagine? Justin's probably thinking, this is too good to be true. Spoiler alert. It was. Flash forward a few weeks, and cracks start to form. It's subtle at first, little things like Blake suggesting minor script edits or proposing creative ideas. Harmless, right? Directors love feedback from their stars. But then, Blake starts taking things a step further. Suddenly, it's not just a few suggestions here and there. Entire scenes are being rewritten. And here's the kicker. Blake's positioning herself as the visionary who's improving the film.
Justin, how to pull you in.
Where
I
have you
love
seen
that.
this?
That
I
clip.
actually just saw it too. It was on Instagram yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, you know, romance is really important. You're supposed to, you know, tell a story. But yeah, we were really lucky I'm fortunate to be able to have had, you know, such a all-encompassing experience on this film, and Colleen too. I mean, she's such a great filmmaker. You know, she was really able to separate herself as the author and sit in that edit room and go like, okay, I know that I wrote this in the book, but like, what if?
And yeah, Ryan, Blake, and there's so many collective heads going in to try to make something so beautiful.
Do you remember which scene?
He wrote on a few scenes, I believe, and suggested a lot of things that made the movie better. I mean, the guy's a creative genius. Directing myself, a lot of that had to do with, you know, the brilliance of Blake Lively. I don't think people realize how involved she was in this movie. She was extremely involved, and she really made the film better. And especially as when it came to intimacy and all of that, like, she had a very clear vision, and she was telling me what she thought would work and what she thought would be sexy.
And she's doing it in a way that makes Justin feel like she's his biggest supporter. Classic manipulation, right? It's like watching a chess game where the opponent doesn't even know they're losing yet. But wait, it gets wilder. By the time they're deep into pre-production, Blake's influence has grown exponentially. Sources on set say she's subtly pulling strings behind the scenes, winning over the writer, offering suggestions to key crew members, and basically acting like the unofficial co-director of the film. And the whole time, Justin's buying into it. Why wouldn't he? Blake's playing the role of the supportive collaborator perfectly. But behind the scenes, she's laying the groundwork for something much bigger. And then we get to the penthouse incident. Oh, this is where things get downright Shakespearean.
I tell you, man, this
harassment thing is just not making any sense. After working for this film for almost 2 years together, collaborating, text messages, voice memos, getting along, joking, we never had an issue before the break. And then after the break, suddenly there's this weird thing going on with all these demands. I met them at their place, and Ryan blows up on me.
It's late one evening, and Justin gets a call from Blake inviting him over to her and Ryan Reynolds' stunning New York penthouse for what's described as a creative meeting. Sounds normal, right? Just a few professionals brainstorming ideas over cocktails. Except when Justin walks in, he quickly realizes this isn't a meeting. It's an ambush. Ryan Reynolds is there. Taylor Swift is there. And they're all waiting, ready to confront Justin over some vague accusations of body shaming Blake during rehearsals.
Justin, maybe you need to stop talking about my wife's weight.
What is your problem, Ryan?
Now let's pause for a second. Body shaming?
Blake, I don't want you to stress about this 1 second, okay? Everybody knows you just had a baby, and we didn't bring you onto this project not knowing what your position was. We brought you on here because of your mind, your talent, your interest and passion for the film, and whatever you are comfortable with is what we're gonna put on screen, and I guarantee it's gonna be amazing. You don't have to worry about anything. You will be shown in an amazing light, and it's the last thing on my mind when it comes to producing this film. People are going to fall in love with you as Lily, and that's it. There's nothing to worry about, and I know you're bringing your A game every single day, so I want you to put that in the back of your mind and know that it's in the back of my mind, because we are focused on moving forward on this project, and you are going to kill it 1000%.
You know, Justin, I would like to apologize for our little conversation earlier. You're a nice guy, you know? You're just such a nice guy. You're pro-women, you're pro-nice, just so nice. Just want to say sorry.
Really? This is Justin Baldoni we're talking about. The guy's known for his advocacy work, his kindness, his respect for everyone on set. So what really happened? Turns out, Justin had simply asked about safety protocols for a lifting scene, completely standard for a director concerned about his cast's well-being. But Blake? She spins this into a narrative about harassment and inappropriate comments. And here's the thing, with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift backing her up, who's Justin supposed to turn to? Hollywood loves a scandal. And once Blake has the narrative in her grip, there's no stopping it. This moment isn't just dramatic, it's the turning point. Suddenly, Justin realizes he's not in control of his own project anymore. Blake's running the show, Ryan's adding pressure from behind the scenes, and Taylor, well, she's not just there for moral support. She's allegedly been advising Blake on how to navigate the PR fallout if this thing goes public. It's like watching a perfectly orchestrated takedown, and Justin's just trying to keep his head above water.
Hey Justin, not trying to bug you, but that playlist you sent me was good, so I was just checking in again about possibly seeing the dailies because, oh my god, Ryan and Taylor loved the clips you sent me, so I was hoping to see if I could just get in there really quick and see a few of the other shots and see if I could give you some of my thoughts on them. Just let me know if there's time.
And then Taylor's looking at me like I'm some criminal. And then even after all that, we still got along well. We talked to each other with respect and got along, spent hours together in the editing room when she wanted to come in and see what I was working on. No director would ever let an actor just come in and help them edit the film. And just because I said no, the one time I said no, when she wanted to edit the entire film with me, I said, listen, just come back after I got something together. I'll show you what I have and give me some notes on it. And just because I said no that one time in the entire 2 years, suddenly I'm blocked out of my own picture. Sony's giving it to her. Ryan and Taylor are going to promote it. And I'm just left to be in some dungeon in my own movie premiere that I worked on for 5 years. And even Colleen won't talk to me. I thought we were friends.
But why, you ask? Why go to these lengths to undermine the very director who brought her on board? That's the billion-dollar question. And the answer?
I have this hunch that it's possible that Baldoni's agreement with Hoover for the rights of the book or with Sony could have had a morality clause. The reason why it might have had a morality clause is, for example, if I'm Colleen Hoover and I own this book about DV and I partner with you if you ever get accused of DV, I don't want you to own my book. I want it to go back to me. I would have asked my attorney, can you put in a morality clause in there that says that if it gets triggered, if you cause damage reputationally to the movie, or if you do something morally wrong, I think that's how Roseanne Barr got fired, was a morality clause. And so if there was something like that with Baldoni and Sony, or Baldoni and Hoover, could that trigger the rights back to Hoover or Sony, and then Baldoni doesn't get them?
Well, a morality clause often you need some kind of ruling in a legal setting.
Well, it all comes down to power, control, and a franchise that has the potential to dominate the box office for years. You see, Blake doesn't just want to star in It Ends With Us. She wants to own it, direct it, and mold it into her legacy project. And if that means sidelining Justin Baldoni, so be it. The question is, how far is she willing to go to get what she wants? Oh, just wait, because we're just getting started. Fast forward a few months, and we have the infamous text messages. Yes, the receipts are here, my loves. At first, it's little tweaks to the script, small notes, nothing crazy. But then, Blake's rewriting entire scenes, all while hyping Justin up as the visionary director who finally gets her talent. Manipulation level 9,000, right? Oh, but wait. It gets juicier. This is where we separate fact from fiction and dive headfirst into the receipts. The accusations against Justin Baldoni may have dominated the headlines, but behind the scenes, there's an entirely different story.
We have no issue talking most of the time.
Yeah, you're like, what is this?
Like, no, it's not. We're never gonna find out.
And they win!
Oh my gosh, we don't stop.
And Emily and I have we have these moments where
Staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally look at each other and time
I'm a sociopath.
and time stops.
Yeah.
But that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's
Oh.
and they score again.
No. It's like, oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
Oh, I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute. I feel so nosy.
I know. And my nose is so big.
I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
God.
just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our noses are getting paired on you today.
I'm probably getting a spray tan on you.
It smells good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
They win! They won!
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
Slow motion. It's going to be a 17-minute reel.
One filled with hidden agendas, backdoor deals, and power plays that'll leave your head spinning. Are you ready for the truth? Let's break it down. First, let's address the core accusation, the so-called body-shaming incident. According to multiple crew members who were on set that day, here's what actually happened. Justin, being the meticulous director that he is, asked a simple question about safety protocols for a lifting scene involving Blake. It wasn't personal, it wasn't inappropriate, it was purely professional. But somehow that question gets twisted into a full-blown body-shaming accusation. Why? Because Blake knew exactly how to weaponize that moment. And here's where it gets wild. We've got text messages, yes, the actual receipts, showing Blake praising Justin's directing skills just days before this so-called incident went down. Let me read one of them for you. Justin, I've never felt more confident in a director's vision. You're bringing out the best in me. That's Blake's own words. So, why the sudden shift? What changed? Well, here's what the headlines didn't tell you. While the accusations were making waves in the press, there was a completely different battle happening behind the scenes. A battle for control over the It Ends With Us franchise. Sources close to the production have revealed that Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband, made a private offer to Justin to buy the sequel rights for millions of dollars. Let that sink in. Millions. But here's the catch. Justin said no. He refused to sell. And guess what happens next? Suddenly, Blake's allegations are front and center, and the entire narrative shifts against him. Coincidence? I think not. And that's just the beginning. Let's talk about the behind-the-scenes footage. In one particular clip, captured during rehearsals, you can clearly hear Justin calmly discussing scene logistics with the cast. There's no tension, no harsh words, no body shaming, just the director doing his job. Yet, this footage never made it to the public eye. Why? Because it completely contradicts the story Blake was spinning. But wait, there's more. Witness statements from crew members further dismantle Blake's narrative. Several key players on set have come forward to say that Blake was the one calling the shots, often overriding Justin's decisions and pushing her own creative vision. One anonymous source even described her as methodical in her approach to gaining control of the project, stating she made it seem like she was helping Justin, but really, she was undermining him at every turn. And now for the most damning piece of evidence, leaked documents. Yes, we've got them. These documents, allegedly sent by Ryan's legal team, show a timeline of attempts to acquire the sequel rights before any allegations were made public. Think about that for a second. The harassment claims didn't surface until after Justin refused to sell. Doesn't that feel just a little too convenient? This wasn't just a case of creative differences or a misunderstanding. This was a calculated power play. Blake didn't just want to start and it ends with us. She wanted to control it. And let's not forget, this isn't just a one-off film we're talking about. This is a potential franchise. A billion-dollar cash cow that could rival the likes of The Hunger Games or Twilight. For Blake, this wasn't just about acting, it was about securing her legacy as both a creative force and a business powerhouse. So, here's what we're left with. Blake slowly gained creative control over the film, rewriting scenes and influencing the crew. Justin became an obstacle when he wouldn't sell the sequel rights. Allegations conveniently surfaced right when the power struggle hit its peak. And now, with Justin's reputation under fire, Blake and her team have taken control of the narrative and potentially the entire franchise. Asterisk. Now, let's take a step back. This isn't just about one scandal. This is about how Hollywood works behind the scenes, the power dynamics, the calculated moves, and the way the narrative can be controlled with just the right amount of influence. Blake Lively isn't just a Hollywood star. She's proving she's a force to be reckoned with. But at what cost? So, my loves, I'll ask you again, was this truly about harassment? Or was it about eliminating Justin Baldoni to secure control of a billion-dollar franchise? Was it genius, or was it a step too far? Let me know what you think in the comments, because this story, it's far from over. All right, my loves, let's get into the receipts. This is where the drama goes from juicy to downright explosive. Everything you thought you knew about this story, it's about to be flipped on its head. Grab a notebook, because we're connecting all the dots, and trust me, by the end, you'll have some serious thoughts on who's really pulling the strings here. 1. The text messages, Blake's hidden strategy. Let's start with the text messages. These are direct messages from Blake Lively to Justin Baldoni, sent just days before the so-called harassment scandal went public. In these texts, Blake praises Justin, calling him a visionary director and saying how much she respects his leadership on set. She even mentions feeling more creatively inspired than she has in years. But here's the thing, these texts completely contradict the public narrative she spun just a week later. Why praise someone so highly if you're about to accuse them of unprofessional behavior? Unless you're setting the stage for something much bigger. One text in particular stands out. Blake says, and I quote, "This is the most collaborative project I've ever worked on. You really understand how to bring out the best in everyone." Now, my loves, doesn't that sound like someone who's thrilled with her director? But somehow a week later, Justin's painted as the villain? Something's not adding up. 2. The behind-the-scenes footage, the smoking gun. Now, let's move on to the behind-the-scenes footage. And let me tell you, this is the kind of evidence that makes you want to grab the popcorn. In one clip filmed during a rehearsal, we see Justin calmly discussing scene logistics with Blake and the crew. There's no yelling, no tension, no inappropriate comments, just the director doing his job. Blake's smiling, nodding, and actively engaging in the conversation. This footage paints a completely different picture from the one Blake and her team sold to the media. And here's the kicker. This footage was deliberately left out of the public conversation. Why? Because it doesn't fit the narrative that Blake was the victim of an unprofessional director. In fact, it shows the exact opposite. Justin trying to create a safe and productive work environment while Blake appears perfectly comfortable. So, why suppress this evidence? It makes you wonder, doesn't it? 3. Witness statements, the crew's perspective. But wait, there's more. Several crew members have come forward with anonymous statements, and their version of events is jaw-dropping. According to them, Blake was the one calling the shots on set, often making last-minute changes to the script and overruling Justin's creative decisions. One crew member described Blake as methodical in how she gained control, saying, "She made it seem like she was helping Justin, but really, she was undermining him at every turn." Another added, "It felt like a hostile takeover in slow motion." Now, if that doesn't make you raise an eyebrow, I don't know what will. And here's something even more revealing. Multiple crew members have said that Justin was nothing but respectful and professional throughout the entire process. One even went as far as to say, "The allegations against him don't match the Justin I saw on set. He was always supportive and focused on making the best film possible." So who do you believe? The people who were there every day, or the headlines carefully crafted for maximum drama? 4. The leaked documents, the real power play. Now, my loves, here's where things get really spicy. Leaked documents from Ryan Reynolds' legal team reveal a timeline of events that'll make your jaw drop. According to these documents, Ryan had been trying to buy the sequel rights to It Ends With Us for millions of dollars, long before the allegations against Justin surfaced. In fact, the negotiations began months earlier, but Justin refused to sell. And guess what? As soon as Justin said no, the allegations started to trickle out. Coincidence or a carefully timed power play? I'll let you decide. These documents also show just how high the stakes were. Ryan and Blake weren't just interested in starring in or producing the sequel. They wanted complete creative control. This wasn't just about making a movie. It was about building a franchise that could rival Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. And when Justin refused to give up the rights, the gloves came off. 5. The sequence of events, connecting the dots. Asterisk now. Let's put all the pieces together. Blake praises Justin in private texts, building him up as a collaborator. She slowly gains creative control on set, rewriting scenes and influencing the crew. Ryan Reynolds offers Justin millions for the sequel rights, but Justin says no. Allegations suddenly surface, conveniently flipping the power dynamic. Leaked documents reveal attempts to take over the franchise long before the drama started. It's all starting to sound a little too calculated, don't you think? And if you're wondering why the media ran with Blake's version of the story, well, let's not forget how much influence a Hollywood power couple like Blake and Ryan can wield behind the scenes. Asterisk. So, my loves, here's the million-dollar question. Was this really about harassment? Or was it about a calculated power grab to take over $1 billion franchise? The text messages, the footage, the witness statements, and the leaked documents all point to something much bigger than what we've been told. Blake Lively isn't just a talented actress. She's a strategist, and she played this game to win. The question is, at what cost? What do you think? Are we looking at a Hollywood mastermind or a step too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this drama is far from over. And trust me, the next twist is even juicier. So let me leave you with this. Was this really about harassment? Or was it a calculated move to take over a franchise that could rival even the Twilight Saga? In Hollywood, nothing is ever what it seems, and the truth is usually darker than any script they could write. What do you think? Was this a masterclass in manipulation, or just another Hollywood misunderstanding? Sound off in the comments below. I'm dying to hear your theories. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because trust me, the next story is even crazier. This is Holly, signing off from Hollywood Stars Unfiltered. Remember, in Hollywood, the real drama happens when the cameras stop rolling. Stay classy, my loves. Bye.